Hi, everybody. It's Nicole Dyer-Twyman here with Cindy Gallop. We are so excited to have you here. I'll let Cindy say hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi. We hope you're able to see us, and we hope that you are excited to hear from Cindy today, as excited as
Nicole,
I am.
I'm having trouble hearing you, actually.
Oh, no. Having trouble hearing me.
Right. Okay, you're back. I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Great. Well, I am just excited to have you here, and I hope everyone that's watching is just as excited to join us. So thank you so very much for those who are online. So if you were there, please
unfortunately, you've cut out again, Nicole, unfortunately.
Oh, no. If you are watching, please leave a comment, leave a like, several hearts, so that we can know that you were there, so that we could partner with you guys today with this interview. So let us know that you're there by leaving a few comments. I see Natalie's there. Thank you. Hey,
unfortunately, you just cut out again, Nicole. I can't hear what you're saying currently.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. You're back now. But it's a bit sporadically cutting out at the moment. But let's keep going and see how it goes.
Yeah, Cindy, I'm so sorry. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with the connectivity here in my home. It's just the place that I always do my live interviews, and I never have issues.
You just cut out again, unfortunately.
Of course, today would be the day that I end up having issues with connectivity. So bear with me, bear with us as we work through this, but we are still very excited to hear from you, Cindy. So how about we just go ahead and get started? If you wouldn't mind just sharing with those who are watching a little bit about
Sorry, Nicole, you just cut out again. I heard you say if you wouldn't mind, but I couldn't hear what you said after that.
Sharing just a little bit about who you are and just a little history of who Cindy is, so that they can get to know who they're hearing from today.
Sure. So hello, everybody. So my background is over 30 years working in brand building, marketing, and advertising. And these days, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm also a consultant. I have two startups, kind of an accident. I think we'll get on to talking about that. Make Love Not Porn and If We Ran the World. And alongside those, I support myself through paid consultancy and public speaking. I consult very selectively, only for clients and brands who want to change the game in their particular sector. So you come to me for radical, innovative, groundbreaking, transformative. I don't do status quo. And so I'd like to sum up my approach to businesses. I like to blow shit up. I am the Michael Bay of business.
Blow it up, Cindy. Blow the shit up, girl. I absolutely...
Nicole, unfortunately, you've cut out, so I can't hear what you're saying at the moment, Alaz.
Oh, no. I'm excited that you like to blow shit up, is all I was saying.
Oh, great. Jolly good.
I want to bring those who are watching attention to your necklaces. You want to share a little bit about what the bling you have going on?
Sure. So these are my social media necklaces. This is my Facebook like, which I wore into a meeting with Twitter. They weren't very happy, so then they sent me this, which is my Twitter handle on a necklace. And so now I have to wear them both. But actually, the reason I wear these two necklaces all the time is because they are emblematic of the work that I do. I believe in using technology to make things happen in the real world. And whenever I wear these necklaces, which are digital symbols, they always get a really positive reaction, especially the Facebook like. Now, there is a generational divide because younger people go, oh, how cool, a Facebook like. Older people go, oh, how nice, a thumbs up. But the point is that these are digital symbols that generate very, very positive impacts and impressions and interactions in the real world. And that really is what my work is all about, using technology to improve our interactions in the real world.
I love that. I love that. The thing that I love most is that you got Twitter jealous because of Facebook.
Sorry, Nicole, unfortunately, you just cut out there again.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So you said something about Twitter, but I couldn't quite hear what it was.
I was saying that I'm excited that Twitter was jealous.
All right. Yes, absolutely.
Because of Facebook. And then
Yep.
you got them to send you some jewelry too, some bling too. So I love the thought of bringing what we see as virtual, like into the real world and wearing it on your chest and knowing that that is a part of
you
who
just
you
cut
are.
out there again, Nicole, unfortunately.
It's who you are and kind of what you do, the symbols right on your heart. So it's good to hear that. So I'm going to take a look and see who is online with us here. And it looks like we have Javanka there, and Natalie's here. Hi, Karina. So thank you guys for leaving those comments. Natalie's commenting on my shirt, my Leapfrogger shirt. It's totally tied into, of course, the book.
Sorry, just cut out there again.
That we're all talking about. So let's go ahead and get started with the questions, right? So the first question I have is around you being the founder of Make Love and Not Porn, which I love that. And for people who don't know, Make Love Not Porn is the world's first.
Nicole, unfortunately, you cut out there again, so I can't hear all of the question.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to ask you to repeat stuff because I can hear you a bit and then it kind of cuts out and then I can't get the rest. So sorry about that. But carry on. I can hear you now.
So my question is...
Oh, it cut out again.
Why did you pivot from advertising to Make Love Not Porn? And if you would, just share a little bit about what Make Love Not Porn is, and then just share why did you make that strong pivot?
Sure. And by the way, I didn't hear the whole question, but I think you asked me to just talk about Make Love Not Porn and why I started it, so I'm going to do that. So Make Love Not Porn is an accident. It came about through my experience dating younger men and realizing 10 or 11 years ago that I was experiencing through dating younger men what happens when today's total freedom of access to porn online meets our society's equally total reluctance to talk openly and honestly about sex. Porn becomes sex education by default in not a good way. And so as a little side venture, 9 years ago, I put up on no money a tiny website at makelovenotporn.com that posted the myths of porn and balanced them with reality. So the construct was porn world versus real world. I launched at TED in 2009. I became the only TED speaker to say, come on my face on the TED stage 6 times. The talk went viral as a result, and it drove an extraordinary global response to my tiny website that I had never anticipated. I realized I'd uncovered a huge global social issue, and so I felt a personal responsibility to take Make Love Not Porn forwards in a way that would make it much more far-reaching, helpful, and effective. So I saw an opportunity to do what I believe in very strongly, that the future of business is doing good and making money simultaneously. I turned Make Love Not Porn into a business, into the world's first social sex video sharing platform, celebrating real-world sex as a counterpoint to porn in order to socialize sex, to make sex easier to talk about for everyone in the world in order to promote good sexual values and good sexual behavior. We like to call ourselves at Make Love Not Porn the social sex revolution. The revolutionary part is not the sex, it's the social.
Oh man, that was so much for me to digest, Cindy. I just have to take a moment. So I got stuck on "Come on My Face." So you said that was...
Sorry, Nicole, you just cut out again, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm so sorry about the technology issue. We're talking about how to leverage technology, and the technology is not working for us. That's unfortunate, but
I can hear you again now.
What's hilarious is I got stuck on "Come on My Face." So I heard some of the other stuff. But what is going on? I just think that's phenomenal.
You've cut out again.
One, that you're such a beautiful woman and that you were so confident in your body that you were decided upon having sex with younger men and then analyzing that interaction and making that a business. Like that to me is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely.
You've just cut out again, unfortunately.
Man. So the next question that I have for you is how did you choose amongst those to focus on the path that helped you build your new business? So for question 2, it's like a few months ago, you gave a speech where you said, forget passion and find things you want to punch.
I quoted the wonderful Natalie, obviously,
Yes.
from Leapfrog. Yep.
From a Leapfrog hack number 11. But like you, many of us have tons of things we want to punch. How did you choose which one?
Well, I think, a couple of responses to that. I mean, the first is, as I said, Make Love Not Porn was very much an accident. As the saying goes, the path appears. And so, when I got this extraordinary global response, I realized that nobody was doing anything else about this. Nobody was, to use our Make Love Not Porn tagline, creating an initiative that was pro-sex, pro-porn, pro-knowing the difference, to really, to help the world in one of the most important areas of universal human experience. I always say that Make Love Not Porn operates in the single biggest market of them all. Not sex, not porn, the market of human happiness. So that was enormously motivating, because in the many thousands of emails I've had daily, I see for myself the tremendous human unhappiness and misery caused by the fact that we don't talk openly and honestly about sex. And then the thing that also has enormously motivated me to keep plugging away at Make Love Not Porn is that I fight an enormous battle every day to build this business, essentially because every piece of business infrastructure any other tech startup just takes for granted, we can't, because the small print always says no adult content. Everything is a battle, getting funded, getting banked, putting payments in place, every tech service I want to use. And so I've been really enraged to see the level of hypocrisy in the tech and business world around any startup to do with sex. And so that absolutely, makes me want to punch things. And, in a way, it's a good thing that the dynamic that most motivates me to do anything is the one I characterize as, I'm going to fucking well show you. You tell me it can't be done, I'm going to fucking well show you. You put it off my path, I'm going to fucking well show you. And so, yeah, I am passionate about what I'm doing with Make Love Not Porn. I'm passionate about the social sex revolution, but there are so many hypocritical, prudish, ridiculous things I want to punch around the fact that, sex tech is Silicon Valley's final frontier. And so that absolutely motivates me and keeps me going every day.
That is super awesome. That is absolutely super awesome. Listen, you have to have passion about what you're doing as it relates to sex tech, especially with all the pushback that you've been
You've just
getting.
cut out again, unfortunately.
Yeah. So Cindy, really quickly, we've typed the next question in the comments. Are you able to see the comments?
Let me have a look.
It says in hack 1.
Oh, right. Yes. Right. Let's bring these up.
You don't need a hoodie. Can you still hear me okay?
I can hear you at the moment. Yup. I'm trying to get the comments to scroll. I can't get the window to enlarge. I'll go ahead and try and read but hit me with the question.
You said the future is doing good and making money simultaneously.
Yep.
At what point did you realize you wanted to shift your focus from making platforms such as Make Love Not Porn to If We Won the World?
So actually, the sequence of events was that, If We Ran the World really came out of my over 30 years working in brand building, marketing, advertising, and therefore feeling very strongly that the future was doing good and making money simultaneously. And not in the old world order way that most companies currently do it, which goes, we make money here, and then we do good by writing checks to causes to clear our conscience over here. But in the new world order way of, we make money because we do good. We find a way to integrate social responsibility into the way that we do business on a day-to-day basis, so that it becomes a key driver of future growth and profitability. Because I want to live in a world where the more good you do, the more money you make, and the more money you make, the more good you do. So I believe the business model of the future is shared values plus shared action equals shared profit, financial profit and social profit. And so If We Round the World is co-action software that enables brands and businesses to implement that business model. And it's what I was working on when Make Love Not Porn blew up unexpectedly. And even I, superhuman as I am, cannot run two startups simultaneously. And so I had to backburner If We Ran the World in order to pursue Make Love Not Porn. But as and when I can get Make Love Not Porn operational and profitable, I absolutely want to go back and reactivate If We Ran the World, because the business world has caught up with that thinking. And there are many people very interested in If We Ran the World today. And so, I just need to find partners and investors to be able to take that forwards again. But in the meantime, I designed Make Love Not Porn around that business model. Shared values plus shared action equals shared profit.
I love that. The shared values part.
And yes, unfortunately for our viewers, allows, every so often for me, Nicole freezes and cuts out, so I can't hear everything she's saying to me. And I'm getting the impression that it works the other way around as well. So sorry about the slightly stop and start nature of this.
I am sorry as well, Cindy, but I'm still very excited to hear from you, and hopefully you can hear some of what I'm saying. We do have another question that's been posted as well.
And I can't hear anything at the moment, unfortunately.
Okay, so
you're back.
Let's move on to the next question, and I'm going to go really quickly. It says, Hack One also mentions that real entrepreneurs are caretakers as much as visionaries. How do you find a balance between wanting to give back and still
I'm just going to look up that question in the notes you kindly sent to me, because unfortunately Nicole cut out in the middle of asking it. So I'm just going to find it. Right.
How do you find the balance between wanting to give back and still needing to make money?
Right. So I have a very specific focus in the work that I do, because you can't have too many of us coming at solving all of the world's issues in many different ways. But I have a very specific focus, which is that I absolutely encourage, especially women, by the way, to be completely unashamed about setting out to make an absolute goddamn fucking shit ton of money. And I deliberately articulate it like that because that is how much money I want us all to make. And the reason for that is when we make that much money, we can then afford to fund other women. We can help other women. We can support other women. We can donate to other women. And I want us all to do that because we need to build our own financial ecosystem, because the white male one is not working for us. And so there is no dissonance whatsoever between doing good and making money simultaneously. But I really want people to be very focused on the making money part, because money is power. And our challenge right now, and when I say our, I mean anybody who is deemed other to the closed loop of white guys talking to white guys about other white guys at the top of every industry. Anybody who is female, of color, disabled, LGBTQ, deemed other in any way whatsoever, we absolutely need to build our own financial and business ecosystem and support each other, because the white men don't want to do it. And so, I am focused absolutely on ensuring, as I said earlier, that I want to see the more good you do, the more money you make, the more money you make, the more good you do. And I'm absolutely out to prove that in my own ventures.
That is so awesome. It's like sisters helping sisters. And I love the fact that the shared values, the shared assistance, all of that, like reaching down to help your sister and raise her up so that you all can benefit from what you're doing. I think that's amazing. And I know.
Sorry, you cut out again.
That Natalie shares the same sentiments as well. So that's just so awesome. Kudos to you guys for wanting to share the wealth and to help all, and not just, try your best to just be as successful as you can be, but also share the wealth among
so
all of
you cut out again there.
Reach out. So we have another question that's been posted, and it says, your platform, If We Won the World, has a very interesting premise. Turn good intentions into action, which is what you just mentioned, by allowing people, brands, and companies to easily perform, trade, and coordinate micro actions. Companies like Levi's has used it successfully. Can you share in more detail how this works?
So, so you've cut out there, but I can see from the question that you're asking about how If We Ran the World works. I apologize if I'm talking over you at this point.
No, the micro actions.
Right.
How do you implement micro actions?
Sure. So I design my startups around my own personal and business beliefs and philosophies, and I live my own philosophies. So micro actions are the atomic unit of If Around the World, but they're also a very important part of how I operate. So micro actions are incredibly small, simple, easy to do actions that are so easy to do, why wouldn't you do them? And the reason they're important is because every single one of us, every single day, undertaking micro actions to change what we want to see change, cumulatively add up at scale to enormous impact. And so, I mean, it's a bit like that saying, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And one of the very important things about micro actions too is their psychological impact, because action is transformative. When you complete a micro action, however tiny, it makes you feel completely differently about yourself and what you think you're capable of doing. And so that's why, for example, you know, if I'm ever feeling really down and depressed, I will take a micro action. And I give this advice to people. I go, if you're feeling down, just do something. It doesn't actually matter what. Take a walk to the corner store. You know, just doing something instantly makes you feel better about yourself. So If We Ran the World enables brands and companies and individuals to take any goal they want to achieve and to break it down into micro actions, and then be able to invite people to act who can do those micro actions very quickly and easily, because they either have the innate talents, skills required to do them, or they have access to the tools, external resources that are designed to achieve them. And by the way, I recommend micro actions as a principal approach to all entrepreneurs and people building businesses, because when you ask for help, if you can ask people to do micro actions that, again, are incredibly small and simple and easy, then they will very happily help you in a way that when you make bigger asks, they might not be so inclined to. And so micro actions are just a very good, commonsensical way of going about your business.
Yes. And as you were talking, it reminded me of the project management principles of decomposition of tasks, like breaking the tasks down to actionable steps that you can assign to resources is very similar to what you're describing. So being able to make a small
you've
step
cut out again, but
goal is very, very key. So I appreciate you associating that with just life in general. Like you mentioned, even if you're depressed, like just go take a walk. That's a small micro action towards your goal of feeling better, right? So I totally agree and am on board with that. And in fact, we'll start using that more, because sometimes you feel so overwhelmed by what's before you, it's hard to take the small steps, right? So it's good to be able to take a step back and say, well, let me just do this small task and work towards the greater good of the bigger goal. And that'll help you, propel you to do more. It'll motivate you to do more as well. So that's a really great premise. So another question we have, I hope you can hear me. Another question you have is, what is the most valuable hack you've received or learned that's allowed you to leapfrog into success?
Well, I mean, can I use this opportunity to say, by the way, that this is precisely why I love Natalie's book and why I am raving about Leapfrog and why everyone should read it, particularly founders who are other, because I love all of the hacks in there. I think in terms of, you know, what's come out of my own personal experience is it actually, in a way, goes back to the philosophy of micro actions, because, you know, when you are a bootstrapping entrepreneur and you're trying to build a business against enormous challenges, one of the things I always look for is, and I suppose that the conventional way of putting it is, you know, how do you get the most bang for your buck? But what I mean by that is, you know, what is the smallest and easiest thing you can do that will have the biggest ripple effect. So, you know, an example is years ago, I was talking to a founder who had a fashion tech startup, and this really was years ago. And, you know, I said to them, I was advising them, and I said, you know, what is the one thing that if it happened would have the biggest impact on your business? And so this founder thought about it, and they said, if Kim Kardashian tweeted about us. And by the way, again, you know, as I say, this is a very long time ago. I mean, now, you know, you have to pay $1 million to have Kim Kardashian tweet about you. But what I said at the time was great. Okay, now you know, and now you've identified what that is. There are ways to make Kim Kardashian tweet about you. And so if you can identify, you know, one relatively small thing that will have an enormous impact, I'm always looking for those pivotal, you know, tipping points where you might be able to make something happen that will have a dramatic impact on your business. And by the way, that means experimenting and testing. So they don't always work in the way that you'd like them to. No. But I'm constantly looking for, you know, the small thing that I can do that will have the biggest possible impact. And I'd say that's my most frequently used sort of hack to try and accelerate the growth and scale of my business.
That's awesome. So it's basically using micro actions, right? So leveraging absolutely. Your micro actions to propel you or to hack your way through to success. That is such a great question for all founders to ask themselves. Like, what is the one thing that if it happened tomorrow that could propel your business to where you want it to be? What is that one thing? And then start, you know, creating micro actions that lead you to that. You know, and so that will definitely help move us forward to where we want to be. Cindy, I want to apologize. We had such horrible technical difficulties today, but I still
that's okay. So no worries. I just hope it wasn't too problematic for the audience, basically,
no,
because
I heard everything
you know, unfortunately, I haven't been able to hear you quite a bit. Which is a huge shame. But yeah. I mean, are there any questions in the comments that I can kind of answer, or anything I can pick up from our lovely listeners?
Let's see. No, I think we've actually addressed all of the questions. If you guys
I'm going to put my glasses on, take a look. Let's see.
Please do leave us some questions, leave us some likes and some loves. Let us know that you're still there. Cindy's here for a few more minutes and would love to answer some of your questions. So please leave us a few. Yes. And Cindy, our audience is leaving comments and saying they love the talk today.
Great, because I'm finding it rather difficult to scroll the comments for some reason with this, but I'm glad that apparently the audience could hear us both, which is great.
Yes, they can hear us. You just couldn't hear me. I can hear you.
Oh, weird, yeah, I just couldn't hear you. Strange.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, and you're fabulous, Cindy. Thank you so much for your time today. If there was something
absolute pleasure, and you know, again, you know, Leapfrog is just the most amazing book that I want everybody to read, because I think it will totally accelerate success for so many founders who otherwise face enormous challenges. So I'm just thrilled that it's out there in the world. I can't thank Natalie enough for writing it.
And we can't thank you enough for spending your time this afternoon with us for a few minutes, sharing about your journey. We may want to do it again when there's not all these technical difficulties going on, so that we can get more of you, if that's okay. So thank you again, Cindy. We hope you have a great day, and we'll be in touch again soon.
Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.